Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. So, there's a big array of items that I want to go over for today's Market Watch, and it's much bigger than one of my usuals, so I'm just going to go straight into it here. And essentially, we're going to start with something that has really just been a wild ride all the time. Brainwash Swirler! You see that $50 lightly played? That's a trap. There are only 3 listings left, and now we're looking at $100 for triple rare copies. Please don't. That is not worth it. That's not even remotely worth it. This card is not $100 for a triple R. It's ridiculous. The SP is still selling like 115, maybe 120. And there is that 1-2 per case reprint coming with set 9. So unless you absolutely need this for a BSF before March, my advice to you is shop around. This is not healthy whatsoever, and it is not a good price point. But of course, while we're talking about big price values, Go Ahead Mikani got a massive buyout the other day, where this card used to be like $2 to $3 and would sell pretty consistently when you take a look at the history. Like, just back on Valentine's Day, we're looking at massive quantities moving. And even before that, like, we had a bunch of $1 listings that were moving all throughout the days. And now this card is sitting at close to $12 for its base value. Now, why is this card going up in value? I'll talk about that in a second. What I also want to mention is the FFR also saw a buyout because of this. Now, this card has sold for 50 latest, had listings as low as 30 to 28. It had sold right on release for 140. But as to why this card went up, the first perpetrator that most players are pointing to right now is Messiah because of new reveals that we got from Bushiroad the other day regarding the Stride deck set that we're going to be getting. Now, while it's genuine, as Mikani is basically a generic 2 soul for any Dark States or Brandgate deck, its value is not really that well justified given that it's only really going to be played in stuff like Alter Ego Messiah. You might play it in a few other Brandgate decks, but there's still Bulbul Mine in existence, which is basically a soul encounter as opposed to 2 soul. Alter Ego Messiah is also not as likely to take off in value, even though you do see the buyouts happening right now on the Hot Stamp and the SP. They're nowhere near to the same level that Chronojet was, or rather, there are players who are trying to get it to that same level. You saw the SP only had 1 listing at 300, but I don't think the Chronojet SP even sold for that much yet, so there's almost no chance that that's going to sell. That's all I can say about that. Messiah just does not have the same popularity rate as Chronojet Dragon, and because they're watering down the lock mechanic for D format, I don't think it's going to see nearly as much play. It's still going to be a strong deck from the support I saw. It is multi-attack, but right now it can only do about 4 every turn. Sylvian Hornbeast Emperor Magnolia Elder. This card has not been moving around very much. Rather, it's just been staying in this constant trend of jumping between $6 to $10, and then it never really goes anywhere after that. It is getting new Set 9 support, which is likely to make it more of a contender going forward. There are a few tops from this in Japan now with that new support, but ultimately, even when you consider how this card used to be at the top of its class back in the Set 4 format, this card still never saw a very big price increase, so maybe this will finally be the time since Set 4 basically has no printings left. Gravidia Nordlinger, though, has been way down in price and still has an enormous amount of listings available starting at 25 cents. This card is still under $1 to pick up, and the SP is not doing too hot for being a boss unit as it's under $20, but there are worse ones. Bakbirito, which is probably the biggest wallet breaker of the whole deck, is also down in price. We're looking at $5, $6 overall. But yeah, this is basically the most expensive card to put into a Gravidia deck outside of, generic staples. But Gravidia is a lot more affordable to build right now, and it is a viable competitive build. So if you're looking to build a budget competitive deck, Gravidia is getting there. Then you look at Experiment Successful, which has also gone down in price from $15. And it makes sense given that this card has fallen out of favor in EVA, and on top of that, more players will opt to play this in Archetype now. But the reason that EVA doesn't really play this card anymore is because this card was introduced in Minerva Rising. The World is a Blue Research Lab, which has a lot of listings right now and is starting at $250. But I'd be wary about this one, as Experiment Successful is a double R, and it's $10 right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if Research Lab also gets the same sort of buyout treatment eventually. So if you need to pick these up for EVA, you might want to pick them up now. Same concept for the FR, as Experiment Successful still looking at about 55 for its SP. This could see an uplift in value, as I think it's currently the most expensive FR in Minerva Rising right now too. And of course you got Knight of Blackness Obscured from set 5 EVA support. There are only 2 listings left, and the sales are now at $15. EVA herself is back in the 20s, so the fact that this card follows is not a surprise at all. If you were looking to pick up the SP Tamayora Ride line, you're really late to the party, as every single version is now either sold out or big money. Original market prices, as you can see here, are nowhere near the level that you would have expected. Well, I don't know what to say about that, to be honest, but these market prices were definitely okay. I mean, Tamayora's is 79, which is pretty typical for a set 5 boss unit. All I can say is, yeah, you're going to have to shop around for these SPs if you want to get them. And no, this has not sold at 150 yet, I'm pretty sure. 35, 20, it sold in the 20s and even to the 30s, so it's getting up there. There has been a shift in the preferred effect triggers for Lyrical Melody. Pavli has gotten listings as high as $12 now. Though it hasn't sold at that rate yet, we're still looking at $5 overall. So it's been bought out to the point of 12. We'll have to see where this goes. It is the front effect trigger, which usually doesn't see as much value, but kind of like how Alpec to Youthberg is, Lutetia tends to play fronts instead of draw triggers. And the draw trigger has a lot of listings available right now, starting in the $5 range. So this card used to be up as high as 16. So this is quite a fallout for this card, where we still don't even have any reprints confirmed of these triggers yet. But I would imagine that once we get a set 4 of Lyrical Melody, we should see a reprint of these triggers, and hopefully in more mass, since we don't have 5 nations to worry about in that case. Meredith has been going up higher in value, although it's still pretty decent. You're looking at $4 for the double R, going up a little higher than that, and the SP is currently... Oh, someone bought a playset, 25 each, yay. But you're basically looking at $10 to $13 if you want to pick them up. And it is short on listings, so keep your eyes out and shop around. Lutetia herself is still holding as well as it always has. 6 listings left on the Triple R, starting at 18, and one person got lucky, got it for $10. But yeah, effectively a $20 card. Lutetia is still a favorite when it comes to Lyrical Melody, so this price point is here to stay for quite some time. Shy Vocal Nokno is also going up in value. I talked about before how we didn't get the Hololive reprints in Minerva Rising. I guess that has to do with this sudden increase as the Triple R is now down to 1 listing and it has been selling. Oh, someone already bought a playset for 20. Yeah, so if you're looking to build Michu, it just got way harder. But another card from Lyrical Set 3 that has gone up in value is Jennifer. You were able to pick this card up closer to $1 for its double R, but it's been creeping up in value. And the FR has gone back up to past its market price point, but there were a number of listings here that were available for 3. And it has sold for 5, 6, so I guess it just had a brief fallout that buyers took advantage of, as this card is pretty generic and could work with a variety of different lyrical decks. A bit of an off-topic, but looking at the Tomari Seto trial deck, Loris Yellow, the vanilla crit trigger out of this deck is now close to $2. There's still a good number of quantities on the market, but yeah. If you wanted crit triggers from Branke, I've been showing you how Aggress Dragon from set 6 has gone up in value. There's nowhere to hide anymore when it comes to the vanilla crits. You end up paying at least $1 per copy now. Same trial deck though, Craggy Beast Gear Grand is something that I want to point out, as this card is getting an errata, the same errata that all the monster cards are getting. This card is going to become a monster now, which allows it to work with this card, Torrential Energy Research. This is one of Archetype's new research orders where you're allowed to take a monster card from the top 5 of your deck and put it in your hand. Then you put another one in your drop. Craggy is going to be a monster and it's also a perfect card. So this makes Craggy a searchable perfect card. It is only the top 5 of your deck though, and it's only on play, so the consistency is not the greatest, but the option is there. Cardinal Draco Barbizon is also out of stock right now. It's been going in and out of the market these days around the $20 price point, so if you've got these, they're selling pretty well for $20, maybe even $25. I wouldn't be surprised if it sold higher than that, given that this is a Cardinal Draco and it's a full art SB. And finally, what is going on with Zorga? I have no idea. The Triple R from the Festival Collection is down in value right now. So, not a bad pickup given that Zorga still has anticipation to see some new support with the anime giving it more light. But the thing that's really weird is the Triple R from set 1 is up in value, which doesn't make sense to me. Ultimately, when you look at the listings right now, this card has been $1, $2 for the longest time, and suddenly it just jumped up to $5 and people are buying into it. So, not sure why that's happening, but if you are looking for the original Zorga, I don't think it's a good price point. It should go back down as it's not seeing much play. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any requests, just let me know and I'll see about incorporating them. See you later.